So, this would be during the small amount of time in which Hana is not sleeping when we're just like at the brink of shock space, slash maybe a little into it, because he wanted to talk to Amanda about the state of things. Um, might as well do it now.
Okay.
So yeah. So then I imagine she got everyone's pod set up. Most people went in.
Yep.
Um,
Well,
so Han.
she gets everyone to go in like half an hour before because she's just like,
Hmm. Okay, so then there's a good chunk of time for them to talk.
yeah.
Um, Hannah's probably leaning on the wall nearby and just watching you guys. He would say, "How are you handling, by the way?"
I need you to be a bit more.
In general,
In general,
personally,
I'm doing as well as I can be in this situation. Personally, horrified that we found what we found, and I'm quite concerned about Rye.
not. Yeah, I think that's around the same place that I find myself as well.
Well, that's good to hear that you care about Rye and that you are, despite being a Halo, still human. Just
Thanks,
a small
Amanda. Well,
smile.
I'm glad you believed in me.
Of course. I gotta believe in everyone after all.
Have you noticed anything off about others, or just the mood on the ship in general? I mean, given everything we've gone through, the mood on the ship is going to be. He just kind of waves his hand back and forth.
Well, I haven't noticed anything strange besides what we should expect. I noticed Melv is a bit, more secluded than he normally is, but I'm sure he'll get over it shortly.
No one else, though.
Not that comes to mind.
Let's see.
Um, Only positive changes really I've noticed, despite the circumstances.
Hmm. I just can't shake this feeling that something's off.
Well, why do you think something's off?
I think it's the what is the word for it? Tone of the ship right now. Granted, there's good reason for it to be grim, what we're all dealing with right now. But I don't know, part of me is worrying that it's getting further than it can be handled, or it's getting worse faster than it's getting better.
I think that might just be anxiety, Hana. I I'm not picking up the same sort of feeling as you are here, because as I said, I've noticed some positive changes in these past month or so, despite all the horrible things. It's just we've been at the unfortunate spot a few times in a row now. That's that's all.
Well, it's the wear and tear of that. I'm glad you're seeing positive changes. I'm seeing negative ones. And that's not me being a pessimist. Pessimist.
Well, where are you seeing those changes?
As you mentioned, melv isn't doing well.
Yes.
Earlier today, he and Ram had a spat. wasn't good. I'm
That
just
doesn't
coming back from.
exactly sound like them.
Well, it doesn't, does it?
Oh, what was it about? Must have been a reason for it. Neither of them sound like the type that would, I don't know, cause a
It
problem.
was rather left field, actually. Uh, we were coming back from the Federation ship, and Ram mentioned that Melv seemed stressed. He is obviously stressed. We all know this. Rolls his eyes, adjusts his glasses, but then he brought you into the conversation. And that
I don't
yeah,
see how bringing me into a conversation could cause any sort of disagreement, Hana.
I'm getting there. Said he seemed stressed. He should get a massage from you. The way he emphasized your name,
Did he call me Marlin or Amanda?
Amanda. Mm-hmm.
I need to talk to Ram then.
And Mel was cross, obviously.
Yes.
I'm not great at reading people, as you know, but
Well, you've gotten
even
better, so don't put yourself down, Hana.
point is, even I could tell.
Well,
And
did anything happen beyond that, or no?
the two officers got involved.
Did,
Said that.
did Mel punch Ram?
No, he didn't punch Ram.
Oh, thank
I
goodness.
was worried for a moment. It was tense. But they didn't drop the issue. The officers, specifically Blanc. Uh, uh,
Black.
I know.
Hmm. One of these days, miscalling someone by their name is going to get you in trouble, Hana.
He's reintroduced himself to me as Officer Blanc, I'll have you know. I think he's playing into this game quite well.
Can't believe someone else, other than Lorne, is encouraging you.
I think you mean Lauren. He
I mean,
smiles.
Lorne. I would expect you to know your sister's name by now, there, Dr. Moore.
I believe that would be my daughter.
Wasn't it your cousin?
Sometimes niece.
Hmm,
Depends on the day.
I suppose it does. When are you going to when are you going to introduce her as your grandmother?
The day that she stops being my father.
Ah, okay. She
But,
smiles lightly.
but regardless, it's unlike either of them to really lean into that. And the Blanc wouldn't drop it. I mean, he called Ram on the disrespect. Uh, but then he also said that Melv should stand up for himself,
It's
which,
probably for the best that Mal doesn't stand up for himself in situations like that.
so there's that.
Well, thank you
Uh,
for letting me know about that situation, Hana.
you know, it's not that just that though. Not
Hmm.
sure if you're aware of Flynn's situation. He's not doing well either.
Yes, Finn is in a bad space.
And then there's Mindy.
Mindy seems better ever since she has gotten closer to Harkin and the dreaded ship.
No. No, they are not well.
Well, I don't interact with Mindiel that often, but they do certainly seem better off. They've been giving more people hugs, so I figured it's been an improvement for them.
Well, I managed
Giving
to
hugs means that they're not doing well. She kind of like looks at the floor, trying to like figure things out.
I managed to make them weep today.
How'd you manage that? And why? She says, kind of like crossing her arms now, looking at you, but giving you an opportunity to
Hmm.
explain yourself.
Everything that we've been encountering recently, there's a larger conspiracy involving it. They have latched onto it to an unhealthy degree, and they want to continue to pursue it.
I see.
I've told them, and have made it explicitly clear, that doing so, for one, isn't going to benefit them, and two, will put not only themselves, but all of us in more danger than we already are. They didn't take kindly to this.
Were you tactful in your words?
I was trying, genuinely, Amanda, I was trying.
All right.
But
Was it
the
just
point, it's the lack of action, I think. They can't stand it.
yeah?
Feel like they need to solve this problem for the rest of the galaxy. Uh, we're a salvaging ship.
Yes, we. Hana, I don't disagree with you completely.
I know this is important to them. I understand that. But there is a time and a place. And this is not that time. This is not that place.
I,
Especially not.
Hana, you don't need to try to convince me. I understand. While my opinion on the matter is quite irrelevant, I do understand where you're coming from. And I think it's probably for the best that even if you made Mindy cry, it wasn't like you were trying to be malicious. I don't think you would do that.
No, I wasn't being malicious. And I appreciate the reassurance, Amanda, but I'm not the one needing it. My point being is that this is another example of there's a lot of instability. A above average amount, yes, we're coming off of what we've dealt with, so it makes sense. But that, in addition to where we are current, out of character, just to clarify, Hana knows that the Styx is known for kind of making people unwell, correct?
Yeah, but we're not in the sticks yet.
Okay, we're not currently in Styx. I wasn't
No,
sure.
we are
Or
currently. Yeah, we're headed towards the edge of it.
okay, yeah, that's what I wanted to clarify because Harkin's job is in Styx.
Yeah, his second job is deep in it. His first job is just on the edge.
Okay, thank you. With the jobs in which, yeah, sorry, with the jobs that we are currently involved in, they require us to enter Styx, a place that is notably documented to cause mental ailment. And several members of the crew, at least four. I'm willing to say five ahead of time by the time that Rye gets back.
She frowns a little bit at that.
at least four, are already teetering, are already unwell, are not, and we're going towards a place that will further agitate that condition. And I'm not the most social of people. I don't know how, if there's others that are showing the same response to the recent stressors the way they are.
Hana, I appreciate your concern. I think it's all in a very well-founded place. This said, there's just as much documentation to prove that the Styx doesn't cause any problems. If there's actually more documentation against it, there's a reason why people call Harkin a kook.
Do we know where the crew stands on the matter?
Well, it actually seems like a lot of people are in agreement with Harkin on that matter in particular. She kind of presses her lips together like, I definitely don't agree with that. But she does continue. As for the mental instability that you're speaking of, I think you might be reading into things a little bit, Hana. There is certainly problems, yes, because we've recently experienced some more traumas. And we were just healing from, well, a terrorist attack when we dealt with that horror show. She like kind of gestures vaguely in the direction of where the ship would be.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, I can understand that tensions might be high and whatnot, but if these fiends came out of the left field or if these fiends had persisted months after the fact, I would be in agreement that something needs to be done. I think it was a good thing that you spoke to Mindy to try to dissuade him from going off onto a quest to do, well, who knows what. But I don't know what got into Ram, and I don't know what's going on with Melv. The fact that they didn't come to blows does sound like that maybe it's just stress and tensions. Ram is close with Rai, and maybe he's taking the fact that Rai is leaving harshly and being smug about it to Melv regarding stuff.
He was trying to start a fight, Amanda.
Yes, it's why I'm saying I, I was wording it in a way in such that I didn't outright blame him for the situation. But yes, he was trying to start a fight with Mel. That's what it sounds like.
It's no, I can confirm that. He said to me as much.
Oh, that fucking idiot. Did he tell you why he wanted to start a fight with Mel?
He thought that by doing it, it relieved Mel's stress.
Oh my god, that big idiot.
He thinks that Melv has. He says that he believes Melv has something against him, and so this would help him know. He does quotes know where he stands with him.
Oh, I can't
And
believe we need to have this talk with Ram as well. Oh,
in addition to this, his primary. He's convinced Melv's going buggy, and this was his solution to that.
I don't think Mel is going buggy.
He's not doing well.
He's not doing well, but I don't think he's going buggy.
Buggy's a very strong word. I agree.
Yes, that's why I'm saying saying that he's just unwell at the moment. He's just stressed at the moment. And in time it will pass. Do you want Ram
He,
to know that you ratted him out?
I don't care.
Alright, well then I'm going to have many words with him. Because apparently I have to treat him like how I treated Hash all of those years ago.
He raises a brow.
Hash is a big dumb idiot too. Thought that, you could sort everything by, punching your problems. Remember when Hash thought it was a good idea to try to get Franklin to open up by, roughhousing with him?
Yes, roughhousing is a very gentle way of saying bare knuckle boxing.
Yes.
I recall.
The reason that stopped is because I spoke to Hash about it, because I don't think Franklin would have survived a second encounter like that. And after the fact, Hash quickly clued in that not everything can be settled with, you know,
Violence.
physicalness. Not violence because he wasn't being
It's violent.
violent.
He was being violent.
He was showing affection in a very
Violent nature.
aggressive
You
manner.
almost said you stopped yourself, but that's what you meant.
Because you kept on saying the word violent, and that just put into my mind. I didn't
Seems like
mean
a slip.
violence.
It's violent.
No.
It doesn't matter if it's friendly or not. It's what it is. Because otherwise, if
Hmm.
you leave that open, he points towards Rand's pod. I don't think he's currently in it, correct? Because he and Celeste stayed up or
Yeah,
whatever.
no, he's not in it.
Yeah, just points at where his pod is. Because he will use that same reason if you give it.
And I dealt with Hash, and I will deal with Ram in the same way. Okay?
Very well.
But yes, no, I do agree that there are people who are troubled right now. I don't think that's enough for you to be worrying about, though, okay?
Wouldn't call it worrying.
Hana,
I'm aware of
Hana,
the
Hana,
situation.
Hana,
Amanda. Yes, I can say your name several times as well.
Hana. You are
Amanda.
a worrywart. You may
Is
not
that
like
what you
to
call
admit
me?
it. Hana, you try to say that you're just a pessimist, but you're actually busy worrying about people and yourself, okay? It's very endearing. I understand where you're coming from, and I'm sure if others knew how much you cared about them, they would also appreciate it.
It's his
But
arms.
in this situation, I want to let you know that you're worrying over spilled milk. But you can just clean it up. Simple. There's no reason to worry right now. All right?
Excuse me as I lose an empathy roll. Give me a moment here. 2 successes.
Let's see if you lose your empathy roll.
Oh.
Yeah. The only thing that you're reading off of her is confidence and assurance.
Okay.
Like she's confident in her words. She's sure in what she's saying.
That's very well. But I do think it raises the thought. We have now, technically, regardless of what your thoughts on them are. Two individuals equipped for handling, coping with stress, and aiding others through that process. Now, both options are currently uh, non-mandatory. Perhaps a checkup process or something.
I'll consider something, okay, Hana?
Nods.
She gives him that smile of like, please don't worry, Hana.
Anna is just he's actually this is just him being prudent about the situation. He's not dying of worry right now. He's pretty stable. She could probably pick that up, I imagine.
Oh
Her
yeah, but
empathy's through the roof.
it's still the Hana, I love you, please.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You have 10 more minutes until I force you to get into bed. Okay?
Understood.
She nods her head. So, slap my hands together. Do you want to do a melv one or nah?
Yes.
Okay, we can do that one
Uh
pretty quick, I reckon.
Probably. I guess we'll see.
Okay.
Um Though I think actually I will step aside if Ram wanted to do the Melv one first, in case it influences how Mel's doing when I talk to him. It might be best.
Oh, okay.
Sure, that works for me.
So this is after y'all wake up from shock space and start heading towards the planet.
Okay, sounds good. Um, give it a couple of hours after we wake up, see how he's doing. How did Mel look when he got out of the pod anyway?
Tired.
Yeah, of course. Aye. Alright then. A couple hours past that, Ram will go try and find him. Usually in his office, right?
Yep.
Okay. I'm just kind of.
Getting there pretty.
Yeah. Is the door open or closed?
Open.
Okay. Kind of stops at the doorway. Captain, you got a minute?
Come in.
Looks at him for a second.
I'll like put something down. Looks up as he's sitting down.
I'd like to
What
run
can I do
into
you
some
for,
things.
Ram? All right. Go shimmy on over to my desk. Fuck. All right. You are defeated.
Okay.
You're unable to read this man.
Um,
He's a god amongst men.
makes sense.
He rolled somehow more successes
Ow.
than you, despite you having more dice.
Ow. Boston man. Alright. Rem just stares at him for a second, gets nothing, and he goes, alright. I came to say sorry. Apologize, you know. So,
Could I ask where that came from before I deliberate on your apology?
came from not wanting to start a kerfuffle for no reason.
That seemed like a good way to start a kerfuffle for no reason, Ram.
I wasn't trying to get down your pants, Captain. I just.
He kind of holds up a hand. He holds up his hand again.
Mm-hmm.
I did not understand that lingo at all.
I wasn't trying to piss you off.
Alright.
very much seemed to be intent, but I'll accept your apology, Ram. Thank you for making it clear that wasn't your intentions. I'm glad that nothing came of it, except for Officer Black being a bit more disrespectful in that regard.
Yeah, that was a moment.
Hmm. Is that a riffing, Ram?
It depends.
On what?
Is that really all it takes? Just a sorry and you forgive me? Or do I need to do something else here? Because
An
I'm not trying to
apology is
cause any
just
waves.
an apology are just words, but you've stated that you're sorry. You've explained your thinking, and I'm sure that it won't happen again. So yes, that's all that's necessary. I'm not going to give you some homework or assignment to prove that you're sorry. I'm going to accept your word at face value.
Alright. I'm gonna come talk to you later. For now, it looks like we all need our rest.
Yeah.
Don't take this the wrong way, Captain, but it's just a name.
So you say?
Mm. Either way. I apologize for my misconduct.
As I have already said, it's alright.
Mm-hmm. He just he just squints at him and then nods.
See you around, Ram.
See you again.
And then Hana comes in for the tag team.
Hey.
Hey.
High five, you're in.
Egg team. Don't touch me. No.
Where the
Slap.
fuck is Hana's token? Oh, there it is.
It's right there. It's the new one.
I was wondering where it was because normally Hana exists right there.
Yep. Now he's hanging out with people these days.
Why does he not exist there? I don't imagine it'd be like immediately after Ram, like, you know, possibly a day later or what, like later that day at closest.
All right.
He'd knock, wait for a response.
Go in.
I've come to weigh down your efficiency for a small while. Is that fine?
If you'd like. What do you need, Hana?
Nothing's specifically needed.
Alright. Right.
He shrugs. What do you prefer?
Stay open.
Alright. Let us open. For now.
So it is.
Should it... Right. Should it become something that you wish for door closed, say so. I'm closer to it. Make it work.
I have a button.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that.
So I open the door. So what do you need, Hana? Or what do you desire to talk about?
Seeing how you were doing. How goes the paperwork? How goes melv in general? Coming up
Paperwork
trial?
flies by. That's why we got Amanda on board. As for myself, just tired with the situations, and I'm worried about Rye.
As we all are.
Everything presses a button, the door closes. and
Looks over.
and I'm worried about the implications of what all this means.
The message.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Chance, Hana would have entered the thing to read it. Do I need to roll a cold or anything?
Do you think Hana needs a roll to cold? Because I think Hana might need a roll to cold.
He probably needs to roll a cold.
So yeah, I think you should roll a cold, and if you fail, you're gonna have to roll a void.
Great. Well,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna roll my void.
Oh, you're not gonna roll a void.
Um, doing great. Matt's death. Great. Here we go again. Uh, but what was it? Remind me what Mel said. I'm sorry.
Melv said, in regards to the message, yeah.
He nods. I read it. It's not good.
No. Thankfully, I sent out a message to our employer. I got a message back, and none of our ships have been targeted. None of our stations have been targeted.
Just
No one in the company has been targeted.
mouse and there.
Just mouse. The two places where the stuff was at.
That's what I was theorizing as well. We'd sold some equipment while there. But it does raise a question. Do you think it's them then that did it?
I don't think it was the terrorists, no. They wouldn't nuke a station. It's been. The official story is that the station experienced a nuclear reactor meltdown. It was a gray market, so no one's going to look into it all that much. But,
Very easy cover.
well, but an easy cover that no one's going to buy because reactors don't just blow. They get disconnected. The only time things blow is when someone fucks around.
Do you think?
So I think what?
Do you have any theories?
Well, some corporation wants to get the Terran tech themselves. So they went in there, they got the data that they needed to find the buyers, or at least start figuring out who the buyers were. Took whatever was still there, destroyed everything else, and are going to move on to find the buyers.
Makes a face.
And if it wasn't a corporal team, it was some government that did it. Like, the last time a major cache of Terran tech, a cruiser was discovered, the archaeological team that was there got blasted by, oh fuck, what was that navy called? The High Lords of Escalar. They showed up with a fleet, blasted the cruiser and the accompanying ships, and then fucked off, saying that no one should be able to pilfer from the relics of the past, or something like that. And that was, what, 11 years ago?
Yes.
People do crazy things for Terran tech. Fuck, it's why Rista is still colonized.
He nods.
Why other Terran shitholes are still colonized. It's because there's
Because
people
it says
there.
remains.
Yeah. People there are willing to get the tech, to sell the tech to the highest bidder. And it may be shit, but after doing it for a couple of years, you make a lot of money. You can get a much better life elsewhere.
The reason for us to light up.
Well, it's why, despite us being in a shit situation, it's why I enjoy the idea of being there first and not telling anyone else about it. We get
No.
first pickings, we drop off our stuff, and we fuck off.
Right.
It just sucks that, of all the times, I think if we didn't get greedy, or if a company didn't get greedy, it would have worked out better. Like, if it was a little piece here and there, I don't think anything would have happened. It's just the company wanted to unload everything, and we had a lot to give,
Which left a cache.
which had a lot of stock on hold, and no one wants to hold on to Terran tech because everyone starts asking questions. So, yeah, it's just an unfortunate situation. It's why this time we're not going to take everything we can. We're just going to take the valuables that we can and move on.
No.
Things that will pay the bills. And I'm sure the company this time will spread it out rather than have it all go into one spot.
I'd assume so. What is the station we're going to be rendezvousing with afterwards?
Say again?
What station will we be rendezvousing with afterwards? Basically, where are we taking the goods to?
Catcher next.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Tap to the finger. Thanks.
We already stopped off there for a hot minute before we came out this way.
Right. Same one. We're just looping back to it.
Yeah.
That's not going to be primary base again, is it?
Yes, that's where Spring's going to be operating from, so that's where we're going to be operating from.
Nice and out of the way.
Just the way we like it. Despite getting a pay raise, Spring sees it as a demotion, and well, we're still getting paid the same amount, so he shrugs.
Take the pay over
Does,
the alternative.
it does look good on us and the company that we rescued the group. I got an email from Spring about that. It's just that they got a letter from the feds saying that we helped to rescue some civilians, and that's that. So I make to add that to another board of X amount of civilians assisted.
Helps with their statistics.
Yeah.
It's good we stopped.
He nods. But yeah. Besides that, I'm doing all right. Thanks for asking.
Empathy, this motherfucker.
How are you doing? And yeah, roll your empathy.
I will.
I hope he doesn't like roll like a god again.
I'm gonna burn a willpower. This shit's important. Oh, I don't like that sound, Chance. Chance, come on, buddy. Come on, Chance, I got 5 dice. Don't do this to me.
Roll Brie. You could get like 5 successes on
Nah,
5.
man!
You've been defeated.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you can't read him. He seems pretty calm, pretty sure of himself.
Military statue for prescript. Fuck off! Good. Well, I must admit I had concerns after what happened back at returning from the Federation meeting.
You mean about the Ram incident?
He nods. Just kind of makes that, like, you know, when you kind of scrunch your face, like, yep, that's the one.
Ram already spoke to me about it. It's water under
Did he?
bridge. Yeah, it's over. It's flowed down. It's good.
Chance, am I allowed to do a lie detect so soon after an empathy?
You can, yeah.
Okay.
Because he
I'm
made
gonna
a new
get my
statement.
yeah. I'm gonna get my Daenerys squint on just to be
Attention
safe.
interrogation or clout interrogation.
Oh, Jesus.
Get dabbed on.
Jesus.
Nothing.
Hannah, you're the worst. He nods. I wasn't aware of that. Good.
Hmm.
It was a unpleasant situation. I'm sure you're happy to put it behind you.
That I am, yeah.
So, I won't pry.
All right.
And he kind of thinks for a bit. He says, did the planet help?
I like to think so, yeah. Like, break was nice.
Make sure. These last few months have been shit.
Yeah. Can't catch a break.
I can't.
Despite hating these jobs, I'm hoping the hurricane work is going to be a break.
You're thinking of taking the second job?
The pay is good, Hana.
No.
It might be. I don't believe all of the spacer tales about the sticks, but it is something to be worried about. The way I see it, though, is it's a good way to get Rossi and much needed enhancements without paying for it out of my pocket. But at the end of the day, I am not going to make any commitment until after this job goes down.
Play it by ear.
Precisely, yeah.
That's the best we can do.
Because the way I do see it, if we do go on to do the second job, the worst we're going to have to deal with are skeletons. Maybe a pirate. Maybe.
I don't know what else could be in there.
Well,
I don't know what else could be found.
it's it's an ark.
Yeah.
At least 900 years old.
That...
No one would be alive on that thing anymore.
Following our recent dealing with a certain Minerva, I am going to cite that as a possibility that we aren't allowed to say that anymore.
It's
But aside from
free.
that...
It's Pre-Terran during the Despot era or Despoil era. I don't know. Pre-Terran though. Yeah, it's good for the time. Probably still, intact, but
It's
the reactors on the thing would be dead.
right.
Once the reactors died, the life supports die. Once the life supports die, they can't sustain any crops, food, or atmosphere. From that point forward, assuming anyone was alive, it's sardines in the can.
I was primarily being facetious.
No,
Uh,
I'm just trying to alleviate any fears. Like I'm actually thinking about it. I did a little bit of research onto them, just because I wanted to know what we would be walking into if I decided to take that job.
right. There is something else that should be considered if we're thinking about taking that job.
That being,
In addition to what we are walking into with this job that's coming up, anything really with our presence in the sticks, it's an issue I'm having for trying to dissuade Mindy from continuing to go after it. Out of character, I can't remember. Did we talk to Melv about Project Ultraviolet?
um, it's been mentioned, but
Mindy,
not.
Mindy conspiracy theoried at him,
Yeah,
and then he led them to Harkin.
yeah.
He said there's a line of information that is apparently quite present in the areas we're headed.
Well,
I'm sure it's been mentioned to you, or at least in a report.
it has. I will say, I'm sure that's part of a reason why Harkin wants to go to this battlefield. I'm sure that's why Mindy really wanted to go to the battlefield too. The Ark, I have no idea how a 900-year-old ship could be connected to this. If it's somehow connected to it, I'll eat my fucking shoe.
I would rather you not.
I'm not, but yeah.
I don't know if it would. My main concern is what's found on the way. Look, this this situation, because we know our ship's still bugged, right?
Bugged by who?
By naughty, we kidnapped Rye Beans.
You don't know.
It was mentioned, I think.
Um, you think it might be, but
Okay,
you don't actually know if you're bugged or not.
okay.
You just know that they said that they'll find you.
Got
So
it.
everyone's assuming that the ship's bugged.
Yeah.
It's
Just
Harkin who's
terrifying
just
like that.
it's just Harkin who's just like, fuck, they put a fucking tracker and you didn't decide to fucking take it off. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Mm,
What is wrong with you? That's Harkin.
we love Harkin. Anna says, I. And he does kind of lean in and speak a little quieter, just for sake of, just in case there is a bug. I have concern about either Harkin or Mendy further looking into this, especially while Rye's current associates have shown interest in it.
Well, there's not much we can do to stop Mindy or Harkin.
I've spoken with Mendy. I think I've been able to dissuade them. Hopefully.
Well, that's all we can do is hope, and nothing we can do or say will dissuade Harkin.
No, I don't think it will.
It is something to be on the out for.
Right. If it's any situation similar to the ones we were just dealing with prior to this, He shakes his head. I don't think we need to be in the hobby of collecting bounties.
Yeah.
But as you said, play it by ear.
Yep.
Maybe what we're going towards doesn't have any of it at all. That'd be
That's the
ideal.
hope.
That's the hope.
Well, Hannah, thank you for checking up on me, I guess.
You guys?
Hope you're doing alright. Yeah, I guess.
You're welcome. I apologize on the Federation ship. I didn't realize you wanted me to lead that discussion.
I was just wondering why both of you and Ram showed up if you weren't going to say anything.
I wasn't sure how much they were going to press you, and I have a acute knowledge of certain Federation laws.
He nods his head. Oh, that's good to know.
Figured it'd help if it needed to. Plus, moral support never hurt, unless I don't
No.
provide the most of that.
No, more sport never hurts indeed.
Next time, let me know if you want me to speak. He gives a small smile and kind of knocks on the desk.
Will do.
Can't read your mind, Melv. You know I'm bad at that.
Well, don't think most people can read mind there, Hannah.
You're right. What a strange thing for me to say.
That was a strange thing to say, Hannah.
Smiles.
Don't change. Press the button, the door opens. See you around, Hannah.
Anytime. Do you need anything? You've been in here for a bit.
No, Hash got me a bagel not too long ago.
Ah, good little Hash.
He has to be good for something. He smiles.
Maybe being head of security?
Yeah.
Or your brother?
Yeah.
Well, that's secondary, right? The bagel delivery comes first.
Yeah.
Alright. I'll check in later. Make sure you're eating.
That's what I do. If you won't nag on me, there's at least 3 others that will.
You gotta keep you on your toes, right? Besides, I have nothing else to do right now.
Don't you have those free turrets for you to play with?
I do, but... I have to do that and the prototype, and then the deciphering. It's a lot to balance. Some breaks would probably be good. I think someone told me that. He just looks at him.
I think someone did tell you that.
Not sure who.
Have you been listening to that person?
I don't know. Am I here?
I don't know. It seems like you came in here with an objective in mind.
An objective? I'm sorry. I could stay longer.
Oh no! You're already halfway out. Might as well leave.
Oh, thanks. I'm hurt.
Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Okay.
Well, don't close it on the way out.
No promises.
Rolls his eyes.
We can end that one there. Oh well.
Thumbs up.
Sassy.
All right.
Oh, well.
All right, Con.
Yep.
Which one do you want next?
I don't know, Chance. Which one should I get next?
Do you want to keep recording or do you want me to step in?
You go for it.
Okay.
I'll switch back over if you have to go to sleep now.